In the bowl game, it looked like you were downstairs for the first time all year. What did you like about that vantage point, and would you like that to continue?
Yeah, I mean, first off, that's up to Coach Long, Coach Kelly, where we're all going to be on game day. So that's, wherever they want me, I'll be receptive and, ready to work and ready to, help us win games. But I like being on the field for the bowl game to kind of help, look the quarterbacks in the eye, be there as soon as they get off the field so that there was a smooth, communication there. Obviously we ended up using both guys, so I think that played in our advantage to have me down there to be able to communicate with both of them. But moving forward, wherever coaches, seem to want me to be, that's, where I'll be, and I'll be ready to get to work.
Coach Rees, Brandon takes a lot of questions from the media, and I think a lot of people that are named fans, they dwell a little bit on the negative, kind of forgetting that he had 2 really good months before November. Is it something where he just has to be able? Is he able to block out the noise? I mean, you went through 31 starts here. You had to block out the noise as well. Is it something you can teach him, or does he just kind of have to learn as it goes along this offseason?
Yeah, I think there's both. There's 2 aspects to it. One, you need to learn how to handle the outside noise, and the best thing to do is limit the exposure you have to it. So you don't need to be on your phone. You don't need to be on Twitter. You don't need to be reading articles. So that's one thing that I harp on him is, hey, when you're in this building, trust in the people that are here. These are the people that care about you. These are the people that know exactly what you're going through. These are the people that are going to have your back through the ups and the downs. So the first thing is to rely on the people that go through it with you and block out as much of the outside distractions as you can. The second thing is, as you become an older quarterback, you start to learn that and you start to manage those. And I think the biggest thing with Brandon is keep your confidence level up. I mean, we talk about it every time. When you step on the field, you should have the belief that you're the best quarterback, best player on the field. And there are games where he takes over the game because of his ability. And so he needs, just to continue to harp on the confidence. I think confidence is a huge part of playing the position, especially at this university, especially, when the stakes are high. And that's something that you continue to build. But as you get older, it's something that comes more natural for quarterbacks.
Sure, winning the Citrus Bowl mitigated this, but what did you have to kind of say to him? He was replaced in the game, and the win makes it much better for him, obviously. But what did you kind of have to say to him heading into the offseason?
Listen, I mean, nothing changes. We talked as soon as the game was over. You step into the building, you expect to be the guy. Same thing to Ian. You expect to be the guy. You come to work with that mentality. You come to work with that attitude. The good thing in our room is we have an extremely close-knit group. Ian and Brandon, Avery, everyone is extremely close. We've built those relationships so that when situations like that come up, it's a team decision. We're in it to win this game. They knew it going into the game. We're going to make the decision that gives us the best opportunity to win, and everyone in this room is on board. They support one another like a brother, and their relationship helps mitigate some of that. But to answer your question, I mean, as soon as that game is over, hey, you step in that building, you're ready to be the guy, you're ready to roll.
When Brandon and Ian were here the other day, we talked to them about the competition, competing for number 1, and you just said nothing changes. I mean, Brandon Wimbush, did he lose his starting job in the Citrus Bowl, or is he still number 1 and Ian Book's still trying to get up?
I mean, right now, we're taking the step forward where they're both getting a ton of work. They're both getting opportunities with the 1s and the 2s. They're both getting, the opportunity to go out there and make plays, and we're going to evaluate this as it keeps going.
Tommy, in 2013 especially, it seemed like the field vision, the decision making was a really quick process for you. I think you were only sacked 8 times all year. How do you teach that to somebody else?
Well, I couldn't run, so the ball had to come out quick. But I think just as you get older and as you start to understand defense, that's when you're able to play at a quicker tempo. The game starts to slow down. You're able to see exactly what the defense is trying to do, where your outlet throws are. The deeper understanding of the playbook gives you the opportunity to know, hey, if I get this look, I can take my field hitch right now and I won't ever get touched. And I think the biggest thing is, 1, recognizing the defense, and 2, understanding the playbook. If you understand what the defense is trying to do and where your answers are, that gives you the opportunity to play fast, and the game starts to slow down for you. And for my job now is to get those guys to the point where, hey, I'm recognizing exactly what this coverage is trying to do, and I understand what the play is called and where my outlet or where my answer is. So when you start to understand why you're calling a play for specific looks, it gives you the opportunity to really process everything at the line and deliver the ball, on time.
Where is Brandon in that process in relationship to maybe last November?
Yeah, he's taken huge strides. I mean, by no means is he a finished product. By no means should he get complacent. But I think his understanding of the offense, his understanding of what defenses are trying to do has grown exponentially. And that comes with time. That comes with opportunities against live reps. That comes with, his work off the field of studying and pushing himself to understand. And then it's my job to teach it. And, I think him and Ian have come a long way in just understanding what we're trying to do and understanding, where we're trying to get the ball, especially in the pass game.
In practice, how have you seen that he has taken strides? Obviously, he hasn't played a game in a while, and he won't for a while.
Yeah, I just think his consistency level has been higher. That's the thing that I try to push both those guys to do is, hey, when you step into this building, we want you to be the same guy every day. And I tell them, I'll be the same person, and that's the one and we're expecting for you to match that. So the consistency level has been higher. In terms of just delivering the ball on time, delivering the ball accurately, understanding, what the read is and where we're trying to go with it. So I think the biggest stride for him is it's been a level of consistency, and that needs to continue to grow. As a quarterback, you can't have these ups and downs. It needs to be, smooth and steady and consistent, and I think that's where we're trying to get both those guys right now.
He struggled with some of his shorter throws last year. Coach Kelly said that he's been better this spring, and Brandon himself said the same thing. What are the keys to being successful? I mean, generally speaking, throwing the football to the running back.
Yeah, I think just mechanically there was things that we needed to clean up. We needed to speed up his tempo with his feet. We needed to get his target line set better to the target, and then we needed to just everything to match his tempo. So when your feet are going fast and your arm goes slow, that's going to create issues. If your feet are going slow and your arm speeds up, that's going to create issues. So the good tempo, good rhythm with his throws will help push him to be more consistent, to be more accurate.
Is he overthinking some of those throws?
You're going to have to ask him. Yeah, I mean, you don't think so, but at the same time, there are mechanic things that will clean up, and then there's just a level of, hey, just believe in it, trust your eyes, trust what you're doing, and play full speed.
And what does Ian have to do to take his game to the next level?
Yeah, I think Ian's biggest thing, and he needs to push, is, hey, you need to be, sharp mentally, and then accuracy can never be an issue with you. And you have to be the most accurate quarterback we have. You need to recognize the coverage. You need to put the ball exactly where it needs to be. He needs to recognize coverage, push himself to understand where we're trying to go with the ball, and then when he delivers it, you need to be as accurate as anyone in the country.
Is that the same for you?
Yeah, he can run. Like I said, he can run. But yeah, I mean, I knew for myself to play, I needed to be the smartest guy in the room and the most accurate. And then, all the other intangibles you hope, come along and help pull you through. But there's similar conversation I've had with Ian. I mean, you need to be the sharpest guy and the most accurate to really play at a high level.
Brandon mentioned the other day. Brandon mentioned the other day that he, I guess over spring break, maybe went to go work with Taylor Kelly, and he's done some other things to kind of help with his routine. How does that work with the things that you're teaching?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of consistencies there, and that's something that you make sure of. But in terms of just developing a routine, we want all of our guys to be in a routine. We want all of them to have, when things don't go perfect, hey, revert back to your routine, revert back to what is going to help you to be consistent and to help you perform at a high level. So, I mean, Brandon's done a ton of work here, elsewhere, on the field, off the field, to put him in a position to be successful. And when you work that hard, usually good things happen. So, Brandon's taken some strides really to improve his game, to improve his consistency. Extremely proud of the way he's prepared himself.
Last spring, we hardly knew anything about Ian Book and skill sets and all that. He acquitted himself well in the spring game, but even then, he's talking about there was an acceptance that he knew he was number 2. Have you seen a change since that Citrus Bowl and what he performed as far as his attitude toward competition and vying for that?
Yeah, I think, even outside the Citrus Bowl, all year when Ian was asked to come in, he did a nice job for us. He performed, and I hate the word gamer because it gets overused, but when the live bulls were showing, you see it in the spring game last year, you saw it in opportunities this year. I mean, I think there was one game where he came in and went like 9 for 9 or something, late. But, his stride, again, like where Brandon's taking a huge stride, is consistency. That's what Ian needs to continue to work on. I mean, he can't have some lows in practice and then raise it all of a sudden when we get the team. He needs to be steady throughout the whole process. And for him, you see a different, mentality, a different attitude where he's really attacking and he's really, taking ownership of when he's in there, he's taking ownership of the offense. And I'm proud to see the way he's responded and proud of the way he's come to work every day with the right mentality.
You noted about Brandon that he needed to block out the noise. Did you sense at times last year that him being a first-time starter, that perhaps he was paying attention too much to some of the outside?
Yeah, I don't know if it ever became an issue for him. I think anytime you're a first-year starter, especially in the way media and technology and social media, everything's right there at your fingertips. I think it's hard for, a young man his age to block some of that out. And I think as the year went on, we talked at length about, hey, you can't pay attention to that stuff. You just can't. I mean, I know it's tempting. I know it's right there in front of you, but you have to block that stuff out. So I think as the year went on, he did, better and better at that. And I think this year it's, on the wayside now. So, I mean, I don't think it ever became an issue, but it's definitely something any quarterback here, any young player here needs to learn. Hey, that noise outside, I mean, it's going to get loud, but you can't harp on it.
Do you feel you blocked it out well?
Early on, no. I mean, early on, no. It was a struggle. I think, especially with all you guys. I'm just, but early on, you have to learn. I mean, you're tempted to, hey, what are people saying? I care what people think. But as you get older, you start to learn, hey, all that really matters is when I'm in this building, when I'm on the field with my teammates, is their opinion and how I'm working and how I'm preparing myself, and everything else will take care of itself. I mean, if you work hard and do the right things, good things are going to come. And so as long as you keep your head down and do that, that's what we expect of our quarterbacks. But no, I mean, to be perfectly honest, early freshman year, even 2011, my sophomore year, that stuff got to me a little bit. And, it probably took making a mistake off the field to learn how to block all that out. So
with your dad's experience in the game, was he harping on that?
Yeah, I mean, but you don't listen to everything your dad tells you. But, yeah, no, and I don't know if he understands social media. I don't think he understands all that. But, and Twitter wasn't as big then as it even is now. And so, yeah, I mean, he's told me forever to block it out. And, you try to be as mentally tough, but it wears on kids. I mean, you're a 19-year-old kid, you're an 18-year-old kid playing, and, people are saying this stuff, it's going to get to you. But, you come back and I, sit down with Zach and, we're just talking and, I got your back and that's all you need to hear and you move forward. So.
What did you learn personally last year in your first year in the role, moving into this season, working with Brandon, who's, obviously clearly struggling in the passing game? Just what did you take away from all of that? Yeah,
well, first of all, I mean, I learned a lot, just being around the coaching staff on offense, from Coach Long to Coach Kelly, to Coach everyone on the offensive staff. I just learned a ton about, one, football, but two, how to handle, your room and how to handle the day-to-day, process of getting guys prepared to play. And, I think I learned, there are different angles you need to take to reach other people. I think, when there are some struggles, you learn how to keep guys confident, how to teach in different ways to keep them learning, keep them excited. And then I think just adjustments throughout games. Hey, this isn't working quite the way we planned on it. What's our second option? We have to find a way to win this game. Here's our answers, A, B, C. Let's go roll with this and find other ways to make sure that we get the job done.
Was there anything you really struggled with and had to work through? Just, I don't know if it was Brandon in the passing game and trying to get through to him or something?
Yeah, I mean, I just think, you care so deeply about the guys that you coach and you care so deeply about their well-being that, at times when things aren't going great, you feel for them. I mean, I've been in his shoes, so you feel, and you want to do everything you can to help. And so I think, one of the things, I learned is, I'm going to push myself as hard, even harder than I was when a player, because I want to make sure that these guys, when they take the field, that they're prepared and that they're fully ready to go. And, I really took a lot of pride in making sure that those guys knew exactly, what to expect when they got on the field. And I wanted them to know that, I always had their best interest in mind and that they could always, revert back to our relationship and our conversations to help them get through some of those times.
Tell me, this year you've been able to get out on the road recruiting. What's that been like? Was there a learning curve there?
No, I mean, it's been fun. I really enjoyed it. You get to meet a lot of great high school coaches around the country. You get to go to a lot of areas, and you get to represent, a great university. You'd be amazed, probably not amazed, but you walk through a door wearing a Notre Dame logo, it attracts, a different kind of attention. So I think, Recruiting has been fun for me. I like to, be myself, have some personality on the road, really get to know those people, and really it's an easy sell when you're representing this university. People really, start to gravitate to that.
And when you got here, Phil was already committed to Notre Dame, and the 2019 class is really the first time you get a chance to evaluate quarterbacks and identify who you want to go after. What are the things you're looking for in terms of quarterbacks when you're recruiting?
Yeah, I think the first thing that you want is somebody, really understands what this place is about. You recruit to the school, not necessarily to, a certain aspect of the school. You recruit this place in a totality sense. So, the first thing you want is, hey, does this kid understand what Notre Dame is really about? And the second thing is, you want a kid that's smart, tough, loves to compete, is going to be able to come in and really mesh well with this university, mesh well with this room.
Tom, sometimes there's so much talk about too many cooks in the kitchen or something. When people talk about Brandon Wimbush working with a George Whitfield or Taylor Kelly and all, can that almost be sometimes processing too much information? And as a coach, do you take, some coaches don't like it when they work outside, just their own realm.
Yeah, I think you have to manage some of that as a coach. You have to make sure that you're getting a consistent message, and Brandon's really good about communicating that. And hey, what do you think about this? And we'll have a great dialogue, and we'll make sure at the end of the day, he's doing what we're teaching him here in this building. So that's never been an issue in terms of, him getting an outside voice and having it come in here and contradict or change anything that we're doing. I mean, at the end of the day, Coach Kelly, myself, Coach Long, all three of us, have an input. All three of us are who Brandon, is focused on listening to. In terms of just getting extra work, I mean, the way the rules are set up, I'm very limited, when we break spring ball and what I can do with the quarterback. So, when he gets a routine and he gets into a good rhythm, he's putting in that work to prepare himself. And like I said before, none of that happens out of this building contradicts or comes into conflict, with what we're teaching him here.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Tom.